Hey there, friends. So, I tried out an interesting experiment this past month, and I learned a lot of interesting things from it. Things about myself, things about online communities, and I wanted to share those with you today because I spent the last month, for the first time in the entire history of my channel, not ever looking at the view counts of any of my videos. And it was a really interesting experience. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today I am talking about an interesting thing inside my brain, and I'm pretty sure inside of the brains of other people as well. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecha, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Pekha Pekkonen. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. So it has been a really stressful week, and I am definitely grateful that I thought ahead and booked myself an hour in the dance studio to kind of go unwind and just have some time for me. So while I'm walking down there, kind of want to tell you this story and tell you what came of it as well. So context here. About a month ago, I had a really good but also really intense conversation with my girlfriend, and she said something that I think is going to live rent-free in my head for a very long time. Namely, I was stressing really hard about trying to find topics for videos that I thought were going to be really appealing to people, and, you know, second guessing a lot of topics that I was really interested in pursuing. And she said to me that she believes that I sometimes have a tendency to hold myself back when I go seeking those topics that I think are going to be popular. That is, when I'm seeking to increase the view counts on those videos, that sometimes I'm not very true to myself in the process. So after sitting with that for a day or two, I decided to try an experiment. I was going to give myself 1 month in which I was not allowed to look at the view count for any video that I posted to Instagram or YouTube. And, you know, caveats here, of course, like, you know, there's just some stuff that when working on the back end of YouTube, it's quite difficult not to see view counts sometimes. But by and large, I was going to try to, as much as possible, avoid looking at that section of the screen, and I wasn't going to seek that information out. I was going to do my best to kind of just sit in uncertainty and see how that felt, and see how that changed or didn't change my relationship with my content and my audience. And it was really challenging, like really challenging. There were definitely times when I desperately wanted to know how particular videos were behaving, and also too, just some parts of that are kind of built into my day. Like anytime I post a new video, one of the first things I do in the morning is go check to see what the view count for it is. Like, how's it performing? Did it make it into the top 5 of videos that I've posted in the past month? Is there anything I can do to push its performance a little bit more? And all of a sudden, that part of my routine just disappeared, and I had to find new ways of interacting with my content. So one of the first and most obvious things that this changed for me about the game was it changed the stuff that I was interested in making. Once I was no longer hung up on how many views the thing was going to get, I kind of shifted my thinking to be like, well, if I'm not thinking about what people want to receive from me, what is it that I want to say? What is it that I want to put out there into the world? What are the things that I want to share? And I'll be honest with you, in a lot of cases, this meant that the videos that I chose to make and publish were things that I felt a lot better about than normal. Not only that, I also like kind of put myself more in the perspective of somebody who was watching the videos themselves and just being all like, what is my experience being a part of this? What are some things that I can do better at? What would make this experience more enjoyable for me? And I actually came up with some cool ideas as I was working through that. Stuff that was fun to edit, stuff that was kind of fun to present, and that, you know, seemed to me like a good way to flex my muscles as an editor and a content creator, and that was really fun. And the other big thing that changed was that in the absence of having a view count as a form of feedback in terms of how the video was received, I wound up spending a lot more time engaging in the comments section. I think I replied to nearly every comment that I got, especially on the newer videos in the past month. And it was kind of cool to forge what I think were some more direct relationships with people in my audience as a result. Like, no lie, I think that that's a thing that I'm going to hold on to from here on out. And probably the thing that I was most surprised by was how much less stress I have felt about releasing videos in the past month. Normally, when I go to bed the night before a video goes live, I'm rolling through in my head thinking, did I create the best thumbnail? Is the description going to work? Is it going to pick up the right keywords and all that? And then, of course, when I wake up, my heart is just pounding. It's like, oh, did the video pop off? Did the video pop off? And depending upon what it looks like, I either feel a bunch of relief that, yes, thank God it was well received, or disappointment seeing that a video that I worked really, really hard on hasn't found an audience. And that kind of cycle of stress and either relief or discouragement went away. And that's really a new experience for me, because literally for the entire time that I've been doing this, I cannot ever remember a time when I didn't feel some stress uploading and posting a new video. It's kind of nice to not feel that. But the news was not all positive, because as it turns out, when you don't care about the view counts, then the view counts tend to go down. This was definitely not a banner month for my content on YouTube or on Instagram. There were a couple outliers, of course, but by and large, as it turns out, when I'm focusing on content that satisfies me rather than content that I think might satisfy other people, tends not to do a great job of satisfying other people. And that's a thing that I'm honestly trying to figure out what to do with, because one of the things that I originally thought of as making my channel special and making me special as a content creator, especially amongst flow artists, was that I looked at the videos that I was producing not just as, you know, something to fill up my ego. Like I almost never posted performance videos, but as a service that I could do for people in the community, something that would give people access to ideas that they wanted, or, you know, helping beginners get started on their Poi journey with the best tutorials that I could create. That was a big cornerstone of a lot of the growth that I had with my channel, even up until like 2020 or so. And thinking about producing videos as something that is more about satisfying me creates a kind of tension there. And I feel less stress in that position, but at the same time, I also kind of feel like it's almost a little bit more selfish in a lot of ways. Like, if the content is there to satisfy only me, why do I even have to post it online in the first place? You know, I can just sit at home and watch things that I've created that I think are pretty cool. There's definitely some stuff to unpack from that. So, what exactly will I do with this information going forwards? Well, I think at the very least that granting myself permission to not be stressed about the performance of my videos when they drop is a good thing for me overall. I like feeling less stressed in the morning. I like feeling less pressed about the things that I create. I think living in that kind of constant sense of stress for the past decade has not been good for me. But, you know, at the same time, there are things that we sacrifice in the process of that. And I've really got to spend some time evaluating how many of those things that I sacrifice are things that I'm willing to let go of, and how many of them are just kind of, you know, part of the whole soup, and it's hard to have the good parts without sometimes the bad parts. I don't know. I think that there's also a deeper question and conversation for me in particular to work through and all that, because unlike many other people I see posting to social media, like when I look at view counts or likes, I've never seen that as validation for me as an individual. I always think of it more as, this is a certain number of people who found something that I created helpful. This is a bunch of people telling me that I created something that had a positive impact on their lives. And I don't think that that is a negative way of looking at things, but at the same time, there's clearly a tension there in terms of the stress that I feel in trying to deliver that to people. So maybe there's a piece of my ego there that I need to kind of dredge up and interrogate and work to understand a little bit better. And of course, there is always that question of where does the balance lie between creating things that satisfy me versus the things that satisfy other people. I think ideally those would be both the same thing, but in my experience, they're very frequently not. So which one gets priority at any given time? It's a good question, but also one that I think I'm going to have to interrogate in more depth in another video, because I am pulling up on the dance studio right now, and I cannot wait to have this next hour to work through my feelings with bare feet on a Marley. That's going to be glorious. What do y'all think? Have you ever done a similar experiment? Have you ever deliberately just like posted online and not bothered to check the views of the like counts? I'm really curious what happened to you as a result. Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you got anything out of this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it, keep the conversation going, and to help my channel grow. This video would never have been possible without my amazing Patreon supporters. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. If you like the videos that I produce about flow arts and a variety of other different types of topics, there's an easy way to make sure that I create more of them, and that is to go sign up to support me over on Patreon at patreon.com/DrexFactor Poi. I have a whole host of awesome rewards available there, and even better than that, you'll be supporting me continuing to make work like this. So go check that out, please and thank you. And if you'd like to check out some other videos I have done on the topic of being a content creator and all the complicated things that come with that, I will go ahead and link you to a playlist of those videos down in the description as well as up on screen. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you get out to flow today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.